Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everyone. I am your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that I find a lot of you struggle with, and that is going to be the all or nothing mentality. This mindset is something I see a lot with clients who feel like they have to be perfect in order to see progress. So today we're going to talk about how you can break free from that all or nothing thinking and shift to a more balanced approach that leads to long-term success. Maybe you're unfamiliar with the all or nothing mentality, but this mindset tells you that if you can't do something perfectly, then it's not even worth doing at all. We need to shift our focus from perfection to progress. If you did not listen to episode 2 about the gap and the gain, go back after this episode and listen to that. We need to reframe the way we track and notice progress. And that book is phenomenal. It has changed my life. It's changed my client's life. Instead of aiming for a perfect week every single week or even a perfect day, aim for a consistent one, a consistent week, a consistent day. Did you get all your workouts in 3 days this week instead of 5? A lot of times we overcommit. We give ourselves this big overzealous goal that if everything in the world goes right, we will hit it. But that is such a small percentage that actually happens. So we fail and we don't hit it. And then we feel like a failure. Whereas if I say, hey, let's make your minimum goal this week 3 workouts. Max 5. If you get to 5, amazing. But 3, that's your minimum. You are still going to see progress. You are still going to feel great about yourself. Your body is still going to love you for moving it. It's okay if you don't get in that max number. Find that minimum. Give yourself that grace for when life is going to fall absolutely perfect. What does that week look like? But know that there's a very small percentage of life that looks like that. So we need to plan for that and give ourselves a smaller goal that is more realistic. Progress does not have to be big and flashy. It's about showing up and doing your best in that moment and then getting back on track the next day, the next meal, wherever you felt like you had slipped up. You may wake up and you may not feel 100% like yourself. You may wake up and feel like 60% of yourself. But if you go through that entire day giving your all to every single thing you do and giving it your best, even if your best is only 60, you're giving 100% of that 60%. You may wake up and only feel like 40%, but if you give it your best and rock that full 40% all day, you've given 100% of what you have that day. We're not going to feel like 100% every single day, but if you can figure out where you are, show up, give your best, and be honest with yourself, and just be consistent, right there is going to start to take you out of that all or nothing mentality and teach you that it's okay to not be okay. You can still make progress and you can still do the things you want to do if you're not doing them 100% perfectly every single day. So now we're going to move into what some of you might have heard of is the 80-20 rule. It is a great way to move away from the all or nothing mentality. This means that 80% of the time you're sticking to your healthy habits. You're working out, you're eating balanced food that fuels your body, you're drinking water, you're getting good sleep, you're working on your stress management. 80% of the time you are doing all the things your body loves and needs you to do and that you love to do. And the other 20%, that's for flexibility. That's for that dinner out with girlfriends where you know you've been watching your alcohol consumption, but you know you're going to go a little crazy. That is for missing that workout because you are genuinely so tired and swamped and you just can't mentally or physically do it. That is what that 20% is for. It's 20% of grace is how I like to frame it. This approach gives you room to enjoy life while still staying committed to your goals. You are less likely to feel deprived or restricted, which means you're more likely to stick to these goals long term. The 80-20 approach gives you room to enjoy the life you love without having to give up the things you love. That's the whole motto of my business, to help you create the lifestyle you love without having to give up the things you love, whether that's food, actions, activities, whatever it is. So when we think about 80-20, we want to think about I'm doing things that are going to make my body feel good. I'm being consistent at these, but I have 20% of flexibility, which means that nowhere in my life I'm going to be perfect. We need to get over the concept that we are perfect and that things are going to go perfectly, because as soon as we think they're going to go perfectly, life is going to throw a curveball. We need to be fully aware that life is not perfect, and perfect is just nothing that's going to happen. Let's talk about some practical tips for overcoming the all or nothing mentality. Number one, break goals into small actionable steps. You've heard me say micro habits. Falls into that, is start with small goals. If you have a goal of working out an hour a day, 7 days a week, it's a little unrealistic to start with. I see a lot of people fail with that. There's a very small percentage that will be successful. So what if we start with 5 days a week for 30 minutes? If you're successful at that, we can amp it up. Maybe you realize after a week you're not even successful with that. Okay, we break it down into 3 days a week for 30 minutes. Or maybe we notice 5 days a week works, but you were only hitting 10 minutes instead of 30. When we break goals into small, actionable steps, it does take some trial and error. A lot of times we don't sit down with our calendar. We don't realistically think things out like we should. We just jump in and do it. And then we're like, why wasn't I successful? Have you looked at your calendar? What time do you actually have to sit down and do a workout? In a perfect world, when you break your goals into small, actionable steps, you need to look at what your life currently looks like and say, my life looks like I have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have a 1 hour time slot, and 30 minutes of that I can dedicate to a workout. That is the goal that you are creating for yourself. That is what you are breaking down, and that is what you're going to be consistent with. Because if we don't actually look at what our life looks like and we create a goal just willy-nilly, we're not going to be successful. So break those goals into small actionable steps after looking at what your life looks like and create those actions. Number two, focus on what you can control. There's so many times we get so focused on all the things in life that we can't control. We get frustrated, we get irritated, we get fed up. We let our mind and our life be controlled by all the things that we can't even control. I want you to focus on what you can control. Some days are going to be busier than others, and that's okay. Focus on what you can control on those days. If it means that you only have 10 minutes for a quick workout instead of 30, that's okay. Focus on that 10 minutes you actually have for yourself. Don't beat yourself up for the other 20. Maybe it's a meal. Maybe you thought you were going to have time to go home and make lunch, but instead you had to swing through the drive-through and grab something. That's okay. Acknowledge what you can control. Knowing that you're swinging through the Subway drive-through, what options can you choose there to still give your body what it needs with what you have available? Those little wins add up. They may not feel like we're doing things perfectly, which we never will, but they will still add up. Number three, instead of thinking I blew it, I might as well just give up, I want you to reframe your slip ups. This is, I think, one of the most common things that happens. We tend to, oh, I had a bad meal, I'm just going to throw off the rest of the day. We tend to let our slip ups hold us back from making progress instead of using them as learning experiences, where we should say, oh, I slipped up there. What can I do better? Oh, well, I can actually meal plan. If I meal plan and I prep and I make sure I take time to grocery shop, I can be successful. Use it as a learning experience. Create a plan out of your slip ups. It's not a bad thing. We all slip up in all areas of our life. But instead of letting it continuing to be a slip up, learn from it. Create a plan. Put something into action to actually make it successful long term. Last little bit of today's. So now that we talked about practical tips to overcoming that all or nothing mentality, let's talk about actionable tips to implement that you can start today. I've got 3 of them for you. Number one, which you've heard me say time after time, is pick just one habit that you are going to focus on. Stop trying to do it all. Pick one. Join our Facebook group, then post what that one habit you are going to be focusing on. Commit to doing it at least 80% of the time. When you post in that group, you will get accountability from me. You will get accountability from others. But I want you to pick one habit that you're going to focus on this week and commit to doing it 80% of the time. Just one habit. I know it's going to be tempting to do multiple. Just one. Tip number 2, track your small wins. I mentioned the gap and the gain. I mentioned episode 2 earlier. Go back and listen, read the book, buy it on Amazon. Track your small wins. Maybe you didn't get your workout in a day, but you walked instead or you stretched before bed. Keep a journal or notes in your phone to remind yourself of the progress you are making. I have clients send me 3 wins at the end of their day because it is so easy to get caught up on all the things that are not happening and all the progress we are not making. But if we start to acknowledge 1, 2, or 3 wins of the things that we did do, that progress will add up. Those small steps matter. And that takes us into tip number 3. When you slip up, be kind to yourself. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection, and every single small step adds up. Thank you for listening to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I hope you feel more empowered and ready to tackle your wellness goals. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, feel free to send me a message. Make sure to subscribe and leave a review to help us reach more women just like you. Until next time, take control of your wellness and keep empowering yourself every day.